Picture this. You're behind the wheel, hauling a heavy load, and the pressure is on to meet deadlines. You get a call from your dispatcher, and suddenly you're being asked to do something that feels off. Bend the rules a little. Look the other way. Just this once. We're talking about illegal requests, folks. Those moments where you're asked to compromise safety, ethics, maybe even your commercial driver's license, all for the sake of efficiency. So, whether you're a seasoned road warrior or just starting your journey in trucking, understanding these pressures and how to handle them is crucial. This isn't just about avoiding a ticket, it's about your livelihood, your reputation, and most importantly, the safety of everyone on the road.
Let's talk about personal conveyance. Two words that sound innocent enough, right? It sounds like a simple concept, but there's more to it than meets the eye. You picture a leisurely drive to a truck stop, maybe grabbing a bite to eat, enjoying the open road, and taking a well-deserved break from the hustle and bustle of your workday. But in the wrong hands, personal conveyance can quickly morph into personal delivery service, and that's where things get dicey. It's a slippery slope that can lead to serious consequences. Some companies might try to pressure you into making deliveries while technically off-duty, claiming it falls under personal conveyance. They might use subtle tactics or outright demands. They might say it's just a small detour, a quick drop-off on your way home. But these so-called small detours can add up, both in time and legal risk. But let me tell you, the Department of Transportation, the DOT, they aren't fooled that easily. Those bills of lading, they are scrutinized carefully. Yeah, they tell a different story. They reveal the true nature of your trip, and if it's not personal, you're in trouble. Suddenly, that quick detour could land you a hefty fine, points on your license, or even cost you your job. The stakes are high, and the risks are real. Remember, personal conveyance is intended for personal use, not for lining the pockets of some greedy corporation. It's about your time, your rest, and your well-being. If you're being asked to haul freight under the guise of personal conveyance, hit the brakes, ask for clarification in writing, and stand your ground. Protect your rights and your livelihood.
The electronic logging device, or ELD for short. It's that little box on your dashboard that tracks your every move, like a nosy neighbor who also happens to be a robot. ELDs are there to keep you and everyone else on the road safe, but some companies might try to pressure you into turning off that ELD, just for a little while, they'll say. Deactivating your ELD is a big no-no. If your employer is pressuring you to break the law, it might be time to find an employer who values your safety and well-being more than they value squeezing in one more delivery before the sun sets.
Off-duty, those two beautiful words that signify the end of a long haul, a moment to breathe and unwind. It's a chance to relax, recharge, and maybe finally catch up on that podcast everyone's been raving about. You might even get to call home, watch a movie, or just enjoy some peace and quiet. But off-duty can quickly turn into on-call and in trouble if you're not careful. Some companies might try to blur the lines between your personal time and your work time. They might ask you to pick up a load, drop off a trailer, or even make a quick delivery while you're technically off-duty. This can lead to confusion and stress, making it hard to truly relax. But here's the thing, when you're off-duty, you're off-duty. No exceptions. You're not covered by the company's insurance, and your hours aren't being logged. This means if something goes wrong, you're on your own. And if you're involved in an accident while operating off-duty, the legal ramifications can be severe. You could face fines, legal fees, and even lose your job. So when it comes to off-duty operations, remember this. Your time is valuable, your safety is paramount, and you have the right to say no. Take your break, enjoy your downtime, and don't let anyone take that away from you. Use this time to rest, rejuvenate, and prepare for the next haul. Leave the trucking to when you're actually on the clock and make the most of your off-duty time.
Chapter 5. Disconnecting ABS lights, a recipe for disaster. Now let's talk about a safety feature that's so crucial, so essential, that tampering with it should be considered a crime against humanity, or at least against common sense. This feature is none other than the anti-lock braking system, commonly known as ABS. I'm talking about your anti-lock braking system, or ABS for short. This system is a lifesaver, literally. It prevents your wheels from locking up during an emergency stop, allowing you to maintain control of your vehicle. These systems are designed to prevent skidding and maintain steering control during hard braking. Imagine driving on a wet road. Without ABS, your truck could easily skid out of control, leading to potentially catastrophic accidents. Some companies might suggest or even outright instruct drivers to disconnect their ABS lights. This is not just a bad idea, it's a recipe for disaster. Disconnecting your ABS light is like putting a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. It might conceal the problem temporarily, but it does absolutely nothing to address the underlying issue. The ABS light is there for a reason. It signals that something is wrong and needs immediate attention. If you're involved in an accident and your ABS light is found to be disconnected, you can bet your bottom dollar that the DOT will come down on you like a ton of bricks. The legal and financial repercussions can be severe, not to mention the risk to human lives. So, let's be clear. Disconnecting your ABS light is not a shortcut. It's a dangerous and irresponsible act that puts everyone on the road at risk. Safety should always be your top priority. If your company is pressuring you to do this, it's time to have a serious conversation with them. Or better yet, find a company that prioritizes safety over shortcuts. Your life and the lives of others on the road are far too valuable to risk for the sake of convenience.
Chapter 6. Illegal interstate hauling, don't cross the line. The United States. A land of vast highways, endless possibilities, and a surprisingly complex web of regulations governing interstate trucking. Some companies might try to pressure Canadian and Mexican drivers into making interstate deliveries that are strictly prohibited. They might dangle the promise of higher pay, quicker routes, or a chance to see the sights and sounds of America. But here's the thing. It's a trap. Illegal interstate hauling can lead to severe consequences, including hefty fines, the seizure of your truck, and even the revocation of your operating authority. So if you're a Canadian or Mexican trucker operating in the US, be vigilant. Know your rights, understand the regulations, and don't let anyone pressure you into crossing the line.
Chapter 7. Falsifying team driver logs 2 wrongs don't make a right. Team driving, the trucking equivalent of a buddy cop movie, except instead of chasing down criminals, you're chasing down deadlines. Falsifying team driver logs is a deceptive practice where companies try to pass off solo drivers as part of a team, essentially creating phantom drivers to circumvent hours of service regulations. It masks driver fatigue, increases the risk of accidents, and undermines the entire system that's designed to keep our roads safe. The FMCSA, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, they're not stupid. They have sophisticated systems in place to detect logbook violations, and when they catch you, the consequences are severe. So let's be clear, falsifying team driver logs is not a victimless crime. If you're being asked to participate in this shady practice, refuse. Report it to the authorities.
The trucking industry is facing its fair share of challenges, from rising fuel costs to driver shortages. But perhaps the biggest challenge of all is the pervasive pressure to cut corners, bend the rules, and prioritize profit over safety and ethics. By educating yourself about these illegal practices, understanding your rights, and knowing how to respond, you can protect not only your career, but also the safety of everyone on the road. Remember, your integrity is worth more than a quick buck, and your safety is non-negotiable. It's time for truck drivers to unite against illegal practices and advocate for a culture that prioritizes ethics and safety. Stand your ground, report violations, and let's work together to create a trucking industry that's safe, fair, and worthy of the vital role it plays in our economy. Remember, standing firm against pressure may be uncomfortable, but it is essential for the future of the industry. Your integrity and safety are worth it. Don't let anyone compromise that.